Well, let's bring in our special guest here, Dr. Murat Aslan, who's a lecturer in security studies at the University of Hasan, Kalyoncu in Gaziantep. Thank you for joining us. Now, if we sort of cast our minds back to 2011, the area of Daraa was actually a bastion of support for Hafez Assad, the father of Bashar al-Assad. So why did that community turn so quickly against them?
I think we have to go back to 1970s and 80s to understand the mood of Syrian public in 2011. Because after Hafez Assad toppled down the regime and obtained the power in Syria, he was very harsh to opposing elements in Syria. And there is this very significant event in 1982, and there were exactly more than actually 40,000 dead civilians in a city of Syria homes. And afterwards, there were many protests, but there was a suppression of Syrian government. And 2011 appeared to be a kind of case that Syrian public were encouraged by the toppled regimes, especially in the Middle East.
I was going to say, on that point, given that what was happening, those protests in Daraa, they weren't an isolated incident in the context of the Arab world at the time. We'd seen what happened in Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, pockets of unrest in Bahrain and Yemen. So did Bashar al-Assad's response initially to Parliament in that speech he gave, was that a sign that he was just completely disconnected from the society that he was leading?
Actually, there's a family rule in Syria. There was a family rule. Because Bashar al-Assad or Hafez Assad was not alone, but accompanied by their brothers at that time, as you know. And they built an army and intelligence service that was formed by the loyal people, especially from the Shia community. And they had, you know, a discrimination policy against especially the Sunnis in Syria. So, yes, they created a kind of fence around them, not to have the opposing parties or public to reach Assad family, and they built a regime which is totally based on that suppression policy. This is what we see especially before and during Arab Spring.
Okay, so how would you characterize the war so far?
Well, the first and the most important issue is merciless, actually, and brutality, because we see that especially Assad regime and later than, you know, his supporters, either local or militants or international supporters, did not discriminate civilians and did employ, for instance, chemical attacks and also sent some barrel bombs, and we see a huge civilian casualty in Syria, you know.
Okay, so we've had round after round of peace talks, and so far they've yielded little result, really. Is it even realistic at this point to think there is going to be a political settlement eventually, or are we more likely, as you said, with the mention the barrel bombs and the violence, are we more likely just to descend into this kind of escalatory, more violent war?
Well, still, we couldn't enjoy the culminating point of the conflict. That means everybody wants to have a hand over the others. But what I believe is that there is an ongoing process in Geneva, and somehow they have to compromise over there. Otherwise, this crisis will continue maybe for decades, because now we have actors from the other parts of the globe, including the non-state actors, especially terror groups. That means they will have an interest to be in Syria just to form the Middle East rather than, you know, terminating the Syrian politics. So we will see, especially in Geneva. But if there is no success in terms of politics in Europe, especially in Geneva, then we will see this crisis keep going for decades, actually.
So you don't think we've reached our peak yet of the violence?
No, I don't think that. I don't think that. But, you know, I think the decisive point is Assad's presence, because it's clear from the opposition's, you know, viewpoint, they do not want Assad. If he would be removed from the position, and if Russians were persuaded, that means there may be a light for a quick resolution. So we will see for that. You know.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dr. Murat Aslan, for joining us here as part of our special coverage.